Hello and good morning. How are you doing, Karen?
I'm doing great, Arrow. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I look at this book, and then I go and I stare and people watch at a grocery store because people, they don't. After looking at this book, I'm convinced people don't know what they're looking for.
Well, remember, I was one of those people once, and you might have been too.
Absolutely. That's why I think I giggle like a child in here. One of the things that you do, you break this down from country to country to country. And in doing so, I didn't realize that Yakima and Walla Walla, Washington were going to be featured in this.
Oh, absolutely. The wines of Washington State in the last 10 years have just skyrocketed in quality. And there are now 1,000 wineries in Washington State,
Wow.
and as you say, they're all in the high altitude, very dry eastern part of the state, not in rainy Seattle.
One of the things that I've noticed here in the Carolinas is the fact that they call it a winery, but they don't grow the grapes. They have them imported. Does that still qualify as a winery?
Yes, you can still be a winery. You have to reveal that the grapes are not grown by you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look on the back label, wines like that will not say grown and produced by. They will usually say bottled by. So there's a little hint there on the back label. But yes, you can do that.
You get the opportunity with your book to step into a world. I mean, a world of its own where people are, people use wine as an escape. Some of them use it as a medicinal because red wine is very good for the mind, body, and soul.
I think it is. Throughout history, wine. One of the reasons that wine has been sort of the beverage of religion is that it had the ability to soothe people, to comfort people,
Mm-hmm.
to bring people together. And that, of course, has sort of spiritual overtones as well as medicinal ones. If you read very old books on wine, most of those books were written by doctors who used wine as a way of treating all kinds of ailments. I'm talking about during the Middle Ages, from the Roman Empire up through the Middle Ages, really right up until maybe the 19th century. Wine was used medicinally as well as,
Yep.
of course, being a favored drink.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I've seen over the past, let's say, 2 to 5 years, wine in a can. I've never tried that. Is it? I don't know. To me, it just messes with the palate.
Well, I'm with you there. I know that lots and lots of producers are experimenting with different packaging because, of course, glass bottles are heavy, and
Yeah.
glass bottles have a big carbon footprint. So I'm sure we are headed to a future with fewer and fewer glass bottles. But putting wine in cans is a little bit like, remember when beer first got put into cans?
Mm-hmm.
There's still purists out there who say, no, I want my beer in a bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I might be one of those purists too. Although what I do think is that we'll see bag in the box for really much more expensive wines in the near future.
A white Bordeaux. Why does this sound so odd?
It does not sound odd to people in Bordeaux. There is a lot of great white Bordeaux.
Really?
Which is made from Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon grapes and can be absolutely delicious. In fact, some of the most expensive white wines in the world are white Bordeaux.
Wow. You really do invite readers to take a journey, not only in their imaginations and their taste buds, but when they do go to a wine store or even to a grocery store, because I mean, you talk about Great Britain, you talk about Croatia, Israel. I mean, people are going to go into these little wine areas and they're going to start searching.
Yeah, it is a way to travel. And of course, the last few years with, with the pandemic, one of the wonderful outcomes of a terrible situation was that people learned how to buy wine on the internet and then spent time with their family, staying home, cooking, being around the dinner table, and sharing wine from all kinds of places all over the world. And if you had to stay home, this was the way to do it, right? To really make a fun evening out of it and travel via wine. Why not have some great pasta and a bottle of Chianti, right? So, wine is one of those things that us participate in other cultures.
One of the things that I noticed is that a lot of wine grapes grow in areas where there is gold or the minerals in the soil. Am I just reading that wrong? Does gold play a big part in this?
Gold does not play a big part in it unless you're thinking that certain vineyards produce such great wine that the bottle of wine costs a lot, and that's equal to gold for the producer. I don't know.
Well, it's because
literally gold in the soil. No.
Okay, because California, even Carolina, there are wineries all over that because we've had gold here in the Carolinas as well, and it just seems like there's a lot of wineries around where the gold mines are.
Boy, you've got a new one for me there. Arrow, I have never heard that.
What about seltzers? How is that messing up the system? Because, I sit there, people buying seltzers, and I'm going, you could have a glass of great wine and really have some good conversation, but a seltzer?
Yeah, there are a lot of options, right, for beer, wine, cocktails, hard seltzers now. I don't know. There's what sets wine apart is that it's a way of taking nature into your body, right? It's very different than other kinds of beverages, I think. And there's something, I don't know, sort of magical about wine and spiritual and inspirational. People who say they get bitten by the wine bug are right. And, no one ever gets unbitten. The wine holds a very important place in the history of humankind and in the history of what we've drunk and been inspired by.
I got to tell you, Karen, what I love about your book is the fact that I think it's time that we stop buying a bottle of wine because of the design of the bottle. It is time to really do some research, and you make it so simple and so incredible for listeners to really, to step into the story and really enjoy a couple of sips here and there.
Yes, thank you so much, because, every page is full of side boxes and beautiful photographs and charts and glossaries. And the idea was to really reveal how fascinating wine is. It shouldn't be hard. You should not feel like you need to be really up on your organic chemistry in order to read about the history, the culture of wine, and how wine is so beautifully connected to food. So I'm glad that you see that in the book, because that was very much my intention.
Well, beautiful job. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you, Arrow. I really appreciate it.
Thank
all your listeners.
Oh, I will. Yeah, over a glass of wine, I will. You be brilliant today, okay?
All right. Thank you. I'll try.